Hello and welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan, the channel where we share all of your Thailand stories. Now guys, hopefully you have watched part 1 of today's story, and this is going to be part 2 and the final part of this subscriber's story. So let's begin. I dated again, on Tinder again. I met a girl, let's call her Nam. She was alone after she just recently left her French boyfriend who was cheating on her. She was working for him, but he didn't pay her anything. I felt sorry for her and I could somehow relate, as we both came from a bad relationship with a bad partner. We grew closer quickly. She turned out to be the sweetest girl that I had ever met until this day. Every time we went out on a date, she would be so thankful of me paying. She would assist, help where I might have needed some at the business and at home. This lasted for 1 month until I could call her my new girlfriend and we were officially together.
Stop it. Get some help.
So, she volunteered in my shops, and when I paid her some amount for the time, she never accepted it. She cleaned and took care of the house and never asked for anything and didn't even want to accept any gifts. I lived with her and we grew tighter. We got a second dog to fill our family and moved into a newer, bigger house with a swimming pool. I was as happy as never before. I forgot my past experiences and was happy to have learned in choosing the right Thai girl. She worked sometimes in the business, jumping in once a week when other staff had a day off. She never wanted money for this, so I eventually stopped trying. I gave her gifts naturally, as she is my girlfriend, and paid for food and drink, which isn't the world, and was happy to have helped her out at my house and with the dogs as well. The relationship progressed, and after 6 months she started opening up to me about her parents' money issues. Dum dum dum. I always listened, but eventually told her they should stop asking us, as she didn't have money and I wasn't going to start losing more money after losing about 500,000 baht on the ex in lawyer fees and more. So she started gambling on her phone daily. Sometimes she would win and be able to send her parents something. Other times she lost it all and borrowed money from her friends or my staff, starting off with smaller amounts but then gradually playing with bigger amounts. She seemed to have it all under control, as she never asked me to help or anything else. She became more distant and passive aggressive, pulled in by the game which she sometimes played for 12 hours straight. I started to complain and tell her she needs to stop playing all day. Then she broke out in tears, telling me how her father and mother both are desperate for money and always asking her. If she wouldn't send, her mother sometimes didn't answer the phone for a month straight. I felt really sorry for her, tried to make her feel better and told her, and we are there for you. She doesn't need to answer their calls if all they always want is money. I repeated this over time, sometimes while angry, adding they should go work and not scam their own daughter. She didn't like that at all. Our relationship, apart from these issues, was absolutely great. We enjoyed our lives and time together, going out with our dogs, taking trips to other islands. We were happy. She took very good care and never asked for any money in return. Now months passed again and we reached our first year anniversary, 1 year, and during this year I've witnessed countless occasions where her parents asked her for money and she would instantly turn her mood by 180 degrees. So I kept my opinion and told her that we cannot help, as we have our own future to build and we are not there yet. Her moods became very bad over the next few months, also causing some near breakups. I always was able to calm her down and it never went that far. One day, she tells me about her father being sick and needing money for the hospital. Now this time, I flipped, as I didn't believe that she was telling the truth and told her to just block them if all they do is ask for money always. A few days later, she went to get her nails done, which she drove there on her motorcycle alone. 1.5 hours later, I received this message. Sorry, I can't continue. Just throw my clothes away. I am sick and I need to go to Bangkok. I love you. Do not look for me. I was totally shocked and quickly called her. She had blocked me everywhere. I took the dogs to the car and drove to the airport and I looked to find her. However, I gave up a few hours later and drove back to talk with her friend who might have more answers. She told me that she didn't want to speak but will be at the airport at 11 p.m. to fly to Bangkok. So, I quickly dropped the dogs at my friend's house and headed to the airport buying a ticket to be able to enter the gate and find her. I looked and waited for 4 hours just to drive home without finding her. She left all behind except for the most valuable belongings. I found an old tablet of hers which had a broken screen and was able to reactivate it and get inside because there was no pin. I opened her emails and saw she had booked a flight to Korea. I also saw that she had sent the booking confirmation to a hotel in Patong, which I quickly assumed she was still at. I drove to the hotel, went to the reception with full dedication, asked in which room she's in. The reception seemed visibly shocked and continued to tell me that she had just left. I didn't believe it, so I sat in front of the hotel, waiting for 2 hours in the hot sun until she came out, escorted by 6+ people surrounding her. When I tried to go to speak to her, they blocked my way and then continued to put her in a waiting car, lock the door and drive off. I follow, first running, then I got into my car and pursued them at full speed over the mountain from Patong to Katu. I remember the booking confirmation of the Korean flight and remember there was a cancel button, so I stopped pursuing them, flipped on the tablet, cancelled the ticket and stopped the pursuit for now. Now still not knowing what the F is going on. The day passes and I hope for her to contact me somehow, but she didn't. The next day I woke up and checked the tablet. On Google Maps, I seen that she landed in Korea and was driven 150 kilometers north of Seoul, and she was in some small city close to North Korea. I wrote her mail after mail, seeing she would read but not respond. I tried everything I can to reach the South Korean authorities and have them check, since at this point maybe she is being human trafficked against her will. Without much luck, as they would only respond if I was there in person. So I see her search history starting to fill with translations about message times and payments. I see her GPS timeline and she is visiting motels as well. I can't wait anymore and take a flight to Korea to see for myself and find the answers that I am looking for. I leave my dogs at the training centre but felt very sorry to do so as they haven't ever been without me or their mum, i.e. my girlfriend. So I get to Korea and take a taxi from the airport. It took 3.5 hours until I reached the place the GPS last picked up her location. I scoped the surroundings and found nothing, so I decided to print some missing papers complete with her photos and an email to respond offering a reward. I go around putting these in shop windows, on walls and poles on the streets until I walk into the police station and explain the situation. So the police actually took it seriously and instantly went to go and find her. After 1.5 hours, he came back telling me that he found her, but she does not want to talk. I asked kindly, is there any way to let me speak to her? And then he brought her to the table to sit with me. She looked absolutely terrible. She coloured her hair green with some more shades of green. Unexplainable how crazy she looked coming in with raggedy clothing as well. She did not want to look into my eyes. I asked her if she is okay and she said yes, but I saw in her eyes that she isn't. She isn't being forced to do this. She's forcing herself to do this. Or better statement, her parents are forcing her to do this. She told me that I constantly insult her family and she is there to support them. She swore it's a normal massage, which I asked police to reconfirm and they did. She continued, her mother also doesn't like me. Sure, since I don't fill their bank account, and being able to massage in Korea with an official visa was a big chance for her. She needed to do this and support her family. Now I could see how serious she was about it and noticed her uncomfort talking to me. So I then just ended the conversation with, look at everything that I did to find you. I love you and worried you could have at least told me and clear things before you go. She replied that I wouldn't have let her go if she did. So that is how the meeting ended. I left this town and drove back to Seoul, where I took the next plane back to Phuket. Back to my businesses, back to my dogs, alone and heartbroken yet again on the other side of the world, looking back and thinking, was it all a mistake? I don't know. All I know now is I need to figure out what are my next steps and do I want to stay on this island or even this country? Furthermore, can I even take my dogs with me if I want to go back home? I've been here 2 years and seen more than in my whole lifetime. I am not old, 32 now, and my head now full of grey hair that wasn't there before I moved to Thailand. Maybe I will just end up staying here for now, but my mood towards the country, the people and culture is at its prime. I don't know if I can ever be happy here again after this. Girl 1 was a bar girl that saw me as an opportunity to quit working, and I ended the relationship because she wanted only money. Girl 2 was playing the long game At the first chance, she jumped at the money and I kicked her out, only losing little to her, but a lot to lawyers. Girl 3 was a cute, innocent girl looking for the affection of the parents. She ended up ditching me out of the blue just to make some money in Korea to send to her parents. This was the hardest one for me to grasp. Did any of them really love me? Maybe in their own twisted, perverted ways. Let's call it the Isan way. My advice to everyone on this channel: F them all. Always use rubbers. Don't pay more than 1,000 and never take them more than once so you cannot get addicted. They do the best they can to make you fall in love, make you addicted and need more. I would state there is no legit Thai girls dating foreigners. However, if you believe to have found one, later you will be surprised what happens. Usually it goes good for around 6 months and then they start letting down the facades. Mental illness, abuse, gambling and substance addictions, jealousy, bipolar, just to name a few problems these girls have. If you can't F them and go, don't F them, just go. Better yet run. The end. Wow guys, what a story. Mental, absolutely mental. And I could feel his pain as I was reading through the story, and I also noticed the mistakes that this guy was making, especially the girl that didn't want any money. She was happy to do things for free. She never took anything because she had bigger problems. She didn't want to, for me, she didn't want to upset this guy. Yeah, she wanted to make him fall in love with her, like most women do around the world. They want the guy to fall in love, same as the guy wants the woman to fall in love, etc. But the fact that this guy didn't really speak to her properly about her parents and understand that the way it works here, especially in Isan, but obviously throughout the whole of Thailand, is that there isn't big help like we have in the West from the government. They get helped a little bit, but it's not enough, guys. So they rely on their children to support the parents, and it's the same over again. If you had a child with your girlfriend, if you got older and you couldn't work and there's no pension that you get in and stuff, and you're not making enough money to survive, then it's the children's job to take care of the parents, because the parents took care of the children their whole lives, so they pay it back. And this guy really needed to understand that. Obviously, I don't know if she really loved him or not. It's all quite crazy, but to have a hatred for Thailand and say that there's no genuine relationships here, that's wrong. This guy just got with women that obviously had problems and money issues. Try to make sure, if you're dating and you don't want a woman with money issues, make sure you find out from the outset that she's not in debt, she can take care of herself, she's not gonna like literally jump on this guy, she just wants a normal relationship where they take care of each other, etc. But guys, I'm gonna let you have a say down in the comments below and explain where this guy went wrong and what it can teach others if they decide to start dating Thai women that are similar to these women that this guy dated. But very crazy for him to go chasing her in South Korea. But I can understand when you're in love, people do crazy things. But put your comments and your feedback down below. Guys, as I always say, if you have your own Thailand true story and you want to share it in order to help others or just get it off your chest, then get your emails sent in to thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves. Be careful out there. Take things slowly. If you do end up dating over here, it takes time to really get to know someone. Remember that when you first start dating, even yourself, guys, everybody puts a bit of an act on, yeah? Everyone's a character in their own movie, and you never get to see who someone really truly is. When that character drops and they show you who they are, it takes time. And normally, in order to see who someone really is, you need to be living with them for quite a while, and a minimum of 6 months. So take that into account. Apart from that, guys, take it easy and ciao for now. Bye bye.